Hello everybody, my name is Aud and welcome back to the Aud Narrations channel. Today we're going to be reading the fourth and final part of this mini 4-part series titled Sitting in a McDonald's Parking Lot. If you enjoy these videos and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I want to be doing more, maybe long form content depending on how these ones are received. So let's make a start. Picking up the pieces with nowhere to put them. They write, my soon-to-be ex-wife is back in the house. Ugh. 6 weeks from finding out, those that have seen my previous posts know the story. Her apartment isn't ready, but the place she was staying was no longer available. So here I am trying to move on, but still under the same roof. Mediation is next week. I can barely stand being in the same room with her. It makes me sick. The firestorm from the kids has cooled down, and while they are still nothing close to okay with her, it's now just a cold meat locker of a house until she's gone. Her boxes of stuff packed up are everywhere. And while I know I should be happy that she'll be leaving soon, I can't help but feel cheated. Cheated of a future family that I had worked so hard for. It's just such a sad and depressing state for all of us. I really have no dreams. I have no future I'm trying to build for myself or others. I'm just existing. I can't seem to find meaning in anything. Yes, I love my kids beyond words, and yes, I'm still here for them, but they are getting older. One in college and 2 teens who have their own life, their own thing. I don't really know how to rebuild. Dating sounds horrifying, and even if it didn't, I don't go to bars, I don't go to church, how would I even meet another person? I just want to hide in the house and possibly sleep for 20 hours a day. I just want it all to end. I've had fantasies of just running away from it all, just hiding from the world, finding a cabin somewhere and just letting nature take its course. I'm not as mentally present as I should be, not at work, not anywhere. If I smile, it's an act. If I laugh, it's just for show. My soon-to-be ex told my kids I didn't fill her with love, and this new person does. Ugh. Just these horrifying paper cuts that should roll off my back because I can see I was definitely some sort of recipient from narcissistic abuse. But it doesn't. She's still beautiful and bubbly on the outside, but I can't help but wonder if it really was me. Was I really that bad? The last few years I've been so sad and depressed, wasting time in the basement, just praying and hoping she would engage and try and work on things. And all that time she was working on someone else. She also told one daughter, I know how to give your dad just enough attention to keep him happy and quiet. Ugh. Mate, she sounds like a fucking demon. How was I manipulated for 19 years? Was any of it real? Seriously, where do I go from here? Nowhere. I'm going nowhere. Going to be working at a job I hate until my kids leave, and then what? Maybe the cabin in the woods. Today's my son's first football game. I'm dreading it. She'll be surrounded by friends, and I'm going to be sitting there alone like a jerk-off. I know it sounds so petty, but it's a microcosm of how this whole thing is going to go. And that's what I get for building my kingdom inside my home, while she made hers with a vibrant social life. She steps into a ready-made life created on my time and dollar and sadness, and I'm left with the work responsibility and crushing solitude. In any event, it's a bad day. The boxes, the half-empty closet, the reminders of the affair. I feel amputated. I'm back to wishing for cancer. Something to end it that doesn't scar my kids. Something to just not feel anymore. Someone left a comment saying, OP, time to reinvent yourself. There's nothing to lose, right? OP replied with, I'm 49 years old. Reinvent what? I live in a high-cost area with massive property taxes and college to pay for. I have no sense of self, no motivation to do anything but sleep and make it all go away. Someone else left a comment saying, women emotionally check out of relationships well before the relationship formally ends. She's mentally months more ahead of you. This is an excellent time in your life to develop standards on how you're treated, who you give permission to be close to you, and hone your skills on selecting quality people to have relationships with. Would you ever consciously be friends or marry a cheater? Of course not. So you and I have much in common. I was turning 46 and 47 in 2 months. Incredible how I remember I have the same thoughts as you. Almost everyone. My ex left to move in with a guy from work who she'd been nurturing a relationship with for a long time. They're still together, but it's toxic, and I never knew. He even moved into an apartment by my house for easy access. Ugh. People are actually disgusting. She up and left me with 3 kids. 16, 13, and 9. They were devastated, of course, and I was wanting to run away. I decided I wasn't going to allow her narcissistic self and this clown dude to define my life, and I started reading on self-improvement. Books that focused on men and how to improve ourselves, achieve goals and be happy, regardless of whatever happens. I was in a fight with myself to keep moving forward. One book that had the best impact was the Rational Male series, but there are others. Anyway, take a walk, a long walk, talk out loud. You got one life, great kids, and I'm not going to give her and this clown the satisfaction. Minimal contact, if any. Do things you know nothing about but have always interested in you. Get in the best shape possible. Hell, I was a manager for a big agency for 26 years, and now I'm a personal trainer. Me, a personal trainer? I flipped the script. I remember how you're feeling, I really do. Please take that walk, bar, talk and decide, and don't bargain that you can't. You're going to be fine. I couldn't see it either, but it turned out to be true. Square your shoulders. You can do this. Obi replied saying, thanks man. I've been doing a lot of walking and a lot of talking out loud to myself. I look like a crazy person, I'm sure. Someone replied saying, lol. I had the same reaction. Ended up walking at an easy hiking trail due to the looks. Just made sure the dialogue is about moving forward and the possibilities. Someone else left a comment saying, did you expose your wife of her cheating? Did you tell all her friends and family of her cheating? If you have not, do not expose until after you divorce her, or she'll make the divorce proceedings a living hell for you. Be as nice as you can until the divorce papers are signed. I'm sure you've looked up the 180 concept, and be ready if and when she comes crawling back and realizes the grass isn't greener on the other side. Do not take her back. Keep moving forward with your kids and tell her pound sand. Good luck and please keep us up to date. While she's home, have her watch the kids while you go out and have fun. Join a gym, join your friends, ride a bike. Do what you enjoy and what your kids enjoy. Try to stop worrying about your ex, be a rock, and before you know it, you'll be fine. OP replied saying, my kids are the ones that found out and told all their friends, so it's out there. Trust me, I'm not taking it back. The extent of the betrayal and manipulation has scrambled my brain, but not that much. Someone left a comment quoting OP saying, she also told one daughter that, I know how to give your dad just enough to keep him happy and quiet. And they write, she's a master manipulator and probably wallowing in your misery. I wish you the strength to put your best face forward for your kids. You need to be the stable parent here. There'll be life for you after divorce. But you have to find it within yourself to move forward. Seek comfort in a church that appeals to you. Join a book club. Get out for walks and admire the beauty of nature and the world we live in. Much more life ahead for you, OP. OP replied saying, I used to be a strong Catholic. I did everything in my marriage with my full heart. That was what God wanted me to do. And it brought me here. I have no interest in that anymore. It brought me here. God, if there is one, can go to hell. This is what he gave me for doing my best. Damn. And the next update is titled 6 weeks from the McDonald's parking lot. Well, the soon-to-be ex-wife moved back in, and it's been unpleasant. Wherever she was, she's back. She definitely stalled mediation, and we have our first meeting next week. She's estranged from the kids, in the sense that they spend very little time together, and she's gone for long stretches of time. Whether she's with the affair partner or not, I have no idea, but I know that's where the kids project what she's doing. And it's hurting them. It's a constant dark joke among them about where mum says she is versus where she is. She has to get out. She's stalling. One night she forgot her key and I locked the door and went to bed. She was locked out. Her response was to call the police. 1 a.m, cops at the door over a forgotten key. I think the cops knew she was nuts and didn't make a big deal out of it, but she's looking for reasons to escalate. Thank God I have the kids. I won't be alone in the house with her. I leave if no one else is home for my own safety. As for me, I'm better. The X-rated thoughts are almost completely gone. I found out who the affair partner is, and my jealousy evaporated immediately. He's short, 10 years older than me, and a mediocre attorney. It would have bothered me if he was some sort of tennis-playing Adonis. He's not. That helped out a lot. No idea why. I can tell you why. I had drinks with an attractive older female colleague this weekend, and she told me I look better than ever, and I'll have women knocking down my door. It boosted my ego a bit, but honestly I don't see it. I haven't had sex in over 2 years, and I've been primarily jerking off for as long as I can remember. Sex scares the shit out of me. God knows if I ever have a date again, but it's cloud over me. Now I'm lonely. I had a big work presentation and nailed it in front of the CEO. No one to share it with. No one to share my day with. It's a deep sense of loneliness that is now my biggest obstacle. My whole life is work, kids, gym. I'm living with a ghost in the house. I have to watch her leave, dressed to the nines, sometimes from 2 p.m. until way into the morning. Money is tight. My pay goes to support the family. My soon-to-be ex's goes right into her account for no idea. She's not helping gathering documents for mediation. It's all me. My life is 100% responsibility and solitude, and I don't see an end to it. I don't know. What's it all for? Is this why I was put on the earth? To suffer? I'm not perfect by any means, but I don't deserve this. I've tried to be the best person I can my whole adult life. My ex has been self-centered and serving for over a decade, and she won. She has the life, I have the dregs. I am better 6 weeks out, I guess. But now, instead of the trauma of the moment, I'm left with the reality of what my life is now. And that's not any kind of life I worked for. Someone left a comment saying, "Why are you fucking around with mediation? If you don't have one, get a lawyer and have her served. Document all her behavior. When she comes, when she goes, attitude, interaction with the kids, etc." They quote, "I found out who the affair partner is and my jealousy evaporated immediately. He's short, 10 years older than me, and a mediocre attorney." And they write, "Yeah, I get this. This is the best she can do, and he can have her." Which begs the question, why isn't she living with this loser? Probably because she's not done making your life miserable. If you haven't already, check out The Healing Heart, The 180 and Grey Rock. It'll help you detach and deal with having to be around this person. Hang in there, it'll all be worth the aggravation once she is out for good. Peace. Someone else replied saying, "AP is a loser, but he knows when he sees it. He's enjoying the no strings attached sex, but he's not dumb enough to offer commitment. She'll have no problem finding plenty of men like this for short-term rolls in the hay. She'll have to dig deeper towards the bottom of the barrel to find someone who'll put up with her shit over the long haul." Completely agree. Someone else left a comment saying, "So you live in New York, which is an at-fault state? Document the entire affair for the court, and that means no alimony. Also, try to document any money she spent on the affair. It's a marital asset. You're entitled to half that money back. Next, take your kids to a therapist. He can document the psychological damage she's done to them. For God's sake, file for divorce. Don't bother with mediation. Tell her she gets nothing. You'll fire her for everything until she doesn't have a dime left to her name. You'll have the right to move on with your life, and so do the kids. Take the gloves off and make her life miserable. Stop making it easy for her. Tell every one of her family and friends what she's up to and what she's done to the kids. Don't sugarcoat her actions to anyone." Someone else left a comment, quoting OP, saying, "I had drinks with an attractive older female colleague this weekend, and she told me I look better than ever, and I'll have women knocking down my door." You're right. Believe this. There is a new world waiting for you, and it'll be better once she's out of the house. She has money. Why can't she stay in a hotel or bed and breakfast? She should be obligated to help pay the mortgage. It will continue to get better for you, OP. Hang in there and continue to stay busy. Continue to keep us updated. Someone else left a comment saying, "You know, I was thinking about your situation last night and wondered if the school mums had gotten to you yet. Your ex has really messed with your mind, and that's understandable. I was exactly the same after my breakup, and all I wanted to do was focus on my son. It takes time to heal and see them for who and what they are, but it does happen, and you'll wonder what the hell the issue was. Just because she's living life like she's done nothing wrong, and there aren't any consequences for her actions, doesn't mean you're expected to do the same. You're living life like an adult and a dad who's being responsible for his life and kids." During mediation, I mentioned how unfair her living there is on the kids. They're not enjoying having her at home, and she has to put them first. Even ask your kids if they're old enough to write something for the mediator about what she does, the things she says, and if she helps them at all, and how they feel about having her there. Once you get her out of your home, you'll be able to focus on healing with the kids. What seems impossible financially and emotionally becomes clearer and more doable. But your ex cheating isn't on you. It's on her and her lack of morals. You were faithful and honest, and those are stronger qualities than being a liar. Someone else left a comment quoting OP again, saying, "She definitely stalled mediation." And they write, "I'm starting to suspect the glamorous life you think she's living is not going all that great for her. She's starting to realize she's losing the home and income you provided, and she'll have to figure things out somewhere else on her own. There's a reason she has not moved in with the affair partner. Perhaps he's still married, although she's not showing any remorse, and probably won't. The sooner you can get her out, the better." OP replied with, "Update, she literally opted out of mediation a few minutes ago, and now wants to go through lawyers." To which someone replied saying, "She wants to make this as difficult as possible. Look for a bulldog lawyer to represent you. Could just be another delaying tactic, or she's starting to realize how much she's losing." So, the next update in this saga is titled 2 months from the McDonald's car parking lot. Let's make a start. It reads, "Let's see where to begin. My ex has moved out. She didn't bother to tell me or the kids she was moving out. She just packed her stuff up and left. Afterwards, she told my kids she was staying in a friend's guest house until her apartment is ready. So, I'm over most of the trauma, in the sense that I'm not really thinking about her affair anymore. It pops into my mind from time to time. I admit to feeling a little jealous that she has someone and I'm alone, but the despair, the absolute hellish thoughts, and the emotions seem to be mostly gone. What's bothering me now is her mothering. I have 4 kids, 1 in college and 3 at home. The home kids are 2 girls, 17 and 15, and a 12-year-old son. They were outraged over the affair and became estranged. The weird thing is, my ex really isn't doing much to stay in their lives. She's acting like they owe her an apology for ostracizing her. If it was me in her shoes, I'd have ended or at least paused the affair and been wholly present for the time I had left in home. She's done the opposite. She's gone. She was out most nights until 10 or 11 or later. Totally gone every weekend, to the point that I don't think she's spent an hour with these kids in months. She might text them a sappy text about how much she loves them, but in terms of quality time, or trying to make amends with them, nada. I have to admit, I'm flawed. This is the exact same dynamic that plagued our marriage. When there was a problem and she could be partly responsible for it, she would just disappear and keep herself booked up all day and night. I took it so personally for years, and now I see the exact same dynamic playing a pit with the kids. It's like she expects them to chase her. My oldest daughter left for college in August, literally while this was going down. She comes home for Thanksgiving. My soon-to-be ex is leaving town that weekend. Yes, they have been estranged, but to leave when she's coming home with an opportunity to see her? She told my daughter, "You weren't going to spend time with me anyway." Yeah. She's hiding and then taking it personally that someone isn't, playing Seek. I kind of always thought she was gone all these years because of me. Now I'm seeing the precise dynamic with the kids. Dad, it was like this when she was here. It seems to be bothering you more than us. And maybe that's true, but I just can't believe the extent to which she is disengaged from them. Yesterday was Halloween. She was at a friend's down the street at a party, and didn't even text our 12-year-old to try and see him. I'm stretched thin. Work, which I'm barely doing, laundry, dinner every night, driving them to sports and friends and being on call all weekend to drive them around and keep tabs on them. I'm running the whole show now. There is no cover. Not even a quick dinner or a vacuum. It's all on me. Did I try and intervene? When I mentioned to her how she was never here for a few weeks ago, she replied, "No one talks to me. What am I supposed to do, sit in my room alone?" And I was thinking, yes. Do whatever you have to do to have interactions with these kids. Now, after a few months, their feelings have hardened towards their mother. I don't know how or if they'll ever have her in their life again. She's moving a mile away. I'm not sure they'll see much of her at all. Who is this person? What the hell happened? Okay, she hates me, she cheated on me, whatever. But the kids, it's like they remind her of her failings, and so she's just gone. I'm flawed, and at this point, I think her mothering is worse to handle than boning her tennis partner. She wants me to pay to finish her apartment, since she's leaving most of everything. She wants a 3,000 bed. A 3,000 bed. I'm assuming that means dollars. I don't know. I know this is scattered, but I literally don't know who this person is. From the outside, she's totally together. Beautiful, bubbly, and popular. I can't reconcile any of it. None of this makes any sense in any way whatsoever. She always prioritized her social life too much, and she was a great mother when they were little, but now it's like she's just moving on and not even glancing back at them. Mad. Someone left a comment saying, "No, for goodness sakes, you do not intervene. Look, man, it is not your job to save her from herself. She fired you from that job, frankly, years ago. You literally owe her nothing. Not now, not ever, not even as the mother of your children. Let it go. Let her destroy her life. It is not yours to fix. Please read the No More Mr. Nice Guy. Before the end of the week, it should open your eyes." Someone else left a comment saying, "It's not you, it's not the kids, it's her. The difference between the public face and the private one is common for narcissistic personalities. Affairs are inherently narcissistic, but based on what you're saying, it's possible she actually has narcissistic personality disorder, or something related. In any case, you are definitely better off without her. You're a chump if you buy her that bed, though. Tell her she can take the one from the guest room, or you can get her something from Goodwill, or her affair partner can buy one, since he'll be using it." Ugh. Opie replied saying, "At this point, I only give in to keep the divorce and attorney costs from spiraling out of control. If I retreat, it's tactical." Someone else replied saying, I work for a family lawyer. Your costs won't spiral over a bed. You are allowing her to do and take whatever she wants. By the time lawyers become involved, because they need to, you will have given up so much that it may not even count. So in the end, she may get even more out of the final settlement. Someone else left a comment quoting OP a few times. The first quote is, so I'm over most of the trauma in the sense that I'm not really thinking about her affair anymore. And they write, a big improvement of you compared to earlier posts. You've made a lot of progress. Still a way to go, but you'll survive and be happier in the future. The second quote they use says, my kids are saying, Dad, it was like this when she was here. It seems to be bothering you more than us. And they write, an example of kids picking up problems in the family more than we know. The soon-to-be ex-wife will continue to push them away. They are learning to ignore her and have adjusted to their mum not being interested in their life. This will cause lifelong damage in her relationship with her kids, but you cannot control this. Continue to be the best father ever. They know you are. And the third quote they use is, she wants me to pay to furnish her apartment since she's leaving mostly everything. To which they write, let her have the furniture so you don't have to be reminded of her. Your kids would enjoy helping to redecorate the place to make it their home without her in it. And OP replied saying, thank you so much. Your thoughtful replies have been enormously helpful to me. I'd give you a big bear hug if I could, brother. Someone else left a comment quoting, who is this person? And they write, I say this in the kindest way, OP. She was always like this. And I suspect if you really think hard about the years you've known her, you'll see that this is who she is. This is who she has always been. You may not have seen it, but you know it's true to the extent that even your own kids are not terribly surprised. They have all known her since birth and know exactly what she's like, so don't kick yourself too hard that you are only just starting to realize this. Your ex is exactly who she is. This is who she is. It will never change, and she'll never change. They never do. People like her stand there in a box of matches in their hand, watching the world burn down around their ears, whilst telling everybody within earshot how hard done by she is. And why is everyone blaming her just because she lit the fire? She was never a great mother. Your kids' attitudes to her are proof of that. The best way to handle her moving forward is to learn one phrase. No, fuck you. The next update by OP is titled 5 months from the McDonald's parking lot. And they write, hello friends, I wanted to give you an update. It's been some 5 months. In July, I, 49M, found out my soon-to-be ex-wife, 48F, was having an affair with her tennis partner in a very public way. My kids have become estranged from her because she found out before me. Well, 5 months makes a difference. Actually, I started feeling much better once I found out who the affair partner was. He's 10 years older, short, chubby, and less successful. Not that it matters, but in a way it kind of does. Knowing she stepped down gives me some kind of level of satisfaction. My marriage was very lonely, so once the initial shock wore off, I really began to feel better. So here we are. Divorce details are still not done. We didn't file until October because we made an attempt at mediation, which failed. She's still with the affair partner, and honestly, I couldn't care less. She is still, to some extent, estranged from the kids. Maybe she sees them for a few hours a week, no more. There is still a lot of conflict between them, and she clearly has no idea how to fix it. Her priority is still largely her social life. Tennis, bars, house parties are the driving force behind her life. The kids are doing great. Their grades are higher than they were when we were married. They seem to be very comfortable with being under my care. My youngest girl, I have 4 kids, said, Dad, she wasn't here when you were married, so now at least we don't need to worry about what she's doing. My therapist suggested I go on a few dates just to get social and meet new people, and that's been an eye-opener. Turns out I have some appeal on the dating scene. I had sex a couple of times, but it was a weird ego boost. One lady in particular had sort of captured my attention. We were taking things very slowly. We see each other once a week, sometimes less. She's kind and sweet and beautiful and whatever. Playing it by ear and taking things very slowly. It's just nice to be around someone who wants to be around me. But I'm well aware of the dynamic of escaping into a new relationship, so we're really just enjoying each other's company when we can and not becoming enmeshed. Even the kids want me to date. Lesson is, I don't know why I was worried about meeting ladies and being undesirable. That has not been the case at all. It looks like I'll be paying her some support. Just because I make 4 times what she does, even with her child support, it nets out to me owing. Money is tighter, but not completely unmanageable. As soon as we get the divorce details finished, I'm looking forward to the future. This was all very traumatic. I did love this woman, and I would not have forgiven anything except this. Ex is generally being quite nice. I got COVID last week and she brought me chicken soup. I almost fell out of my chair. I didn't have any, however. I'd rather starve than accept it from her. That said, I'm being cordial. The kids seem happy with me at least. We have a routine that's working for everyone, and the house is running smoothly. I'm getting laid, enjoying the lack of stress from worrying about what she's doing. She's struggling, still estranged from the kids. Despite her busy social calendar, she seems to be living a rather sad life. This forum and the private messages really helped me. I'm sure there are more challenges to come, but I've survived it, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let this define and ruin my life. I'm optimistic about the future, and I couldn't say that when we were together. I'm sure I'll post a bit more when we finish things up, but my message is, if you're in the thick of it and feel lost, take a deep breath and keep going. Things will get better. Love you guys. Someone left a comment quoting, I couldn't care less. I'm optimistic about the future. Your story illustrates why many folks say that indifference is the goal. Congratulations on your current life and hopeful future. Someone left a comment saying, they don't step down, they marry up. Affair partners are reflections of what they deserve. Someone replied to this saying, bingo. Truer words have never been said. The affair partner is almost always a massive step down, and it's just mind-boggling sometimes to be the betrayed. I know it was like that for me all those years back. Someone else left a comment saying, this interesting fact has been brought up in this sub before. The majority of cheaters cheat down. It's weird. To which someone replied saying, water seeks its own level. Interesting way of looking at it. Someone replied to the original comment saying, it is a real pattern. Sometimes the extent of the downward spiral is staggering. Mine literally dug up an unemployed homeless drug addict while I was away working. Facepalm. Someone replied to this saying, but it's not that weird in a way. Cheating is a universally reviled behavior, that puts pretty much everything one has at risk. Add to the fact that more people who are attractive, successful, and desirable usually have more non-cheating options than the average person. And it's not that surprising that people who are willing to make someone's affair partner are usually substandard in many obvious ways, making cheating a relatively better option for them. Stay strong and read Chump Lady. Someone else quoted, he's 10 years older, short, chubby, and less successful. Not that it matters. And they write, of course it fucking matters, OP. She's blown her life and that of everyone around her up for a fucking scrote. That will haunt her to the grave, OP. This is karma, gold-plated, and gift-wrapped right there. It's also going to keep you warm at night knowing this. I would pretty much guarantee that your ex will be back in the old, I've made a terrible mistake shit. Stay strong, and be sure to tell her just where to get off to. She made her choices, and now it's consequence time. Good luck. Someone else left a comment saying, I've been looking forward to an update from you. You were quite down in your early posts, but much more optimistic now. Glad to hear you're getting laid and the kids are doing well. Never met you, but I was confident that you'd be a good catch for the right woman to come along. Karma may come for your soon-to-be ex once the divorce is finalized. Once she sees you've moved on. You'll find out that being a party girl gets hard the older you get. Continue to take care of your kids and the OP. Thank you for the update. Ups and downs from the McDonald's parking lot. Some of you may remember my series of posts. Hitting a wall in the divorce, not sure how to navigate that the kids seem to be distancing themselves from mum more and more. My daughters 18, 17, 16 barely see her. Maybe they stop for dinner once or twice a week, tops. My son, 12, soon 13, has gone from, I'll stay with mum a couple times a week, to, Dad, I don't want to go there. I have given her access 100% of the time she's asked. Dinner? Sure. You want to pick up the boy from practice? Sure. We live under a mile apart. This shouldn't be that hard. But the divorce keeps getting nastier and nastier, and all I've done is essentially tell her she can see and host the kids as often as she wants. But the kids don't want that. They say she acts strange, alternates between raging at them and then crying and guilt-tripping them to act like everything is normal. The problem is, she's taking it out on me, going from mediation to a collaborative divorce with opposing counsel, and now going to court, and all I've done is say yes to every request. My professional life is suffering because I can't focus, which is its own form of stress. Has anyone experienced this? I can't force the kids to see her. They drive, they have lives and minds and opinions of their own, but the more they avoid spending time with her, the more difficult my divorce gets. It's the most frustrating time of my life. I literally don't know what to do, and I'm tired of having my stomach in knots. How do I navigate this? Someone left a comment saying, OP, your soon-to-be ex-wife is acting like a typical entitled cheating spouse does. She lashes out because your kids see her for what she is, and she cannot accept being seen as the bad guy. You have no choice now but to get yourself a good lawyer. Also, grey rock her ass, and keep your communications simple, yes or no. If she lashes out, offer no retorts. Someone else left a comment saying, "Be looking for an update from you. Sorry to hear your soon-to-be ex-wife is being a butt about the divorce. Reality is starting to hit her. Running around with a tennis guy, bar hopping, acting single, seeing only rainbows and unicorns is giving way to her starting over in life with someone else. Gone is the comfort that you and your home provided and loving family you had. The kids know she destroyed the family stability you had before the affair. And you're correct. They are old enough for their own opinions and choices they make. Some would say the soon-to-be ex-wife is experiencing some karma. The best you can do is be amicable as possible with her and the attorneys. Continue to document all her actions and keep your attorney informed of everything she does and does not do. If possible, get her to pay for all the legal complications she's causing. Stay the course, OP. Eventually this nightmare will be more manageable and you'll still have to co-parent." Someone else left a comment saying, "Your marriage is over. You're no longer obligated to be nice to her. You should be polite, but cold. Do some research on the Grey Rock 180 and employ that. Get both of you and the kids on a co-parenting app and tell her that all communication should happen there and only be about the kids. Everything divorce related should go through your attorney and then block her everywhere else." That's good advice. Someone left a comment saying, "Stop giving your wife what she wants and saying yes to everything. You cannot and should not make your kids see their mum. They are old enough to choose themselves. Your soon-to-be ex-wife has obviously alienated her children in the same way she has alienated you. Your children view you as the loving, caring parent, and that is there for them, and not your wife. They view your wife as a manipulative, selfish individual who destroyed the family. Leave them alone. Focus on yourself and your profession and your children. You are an attorney. If your wife wants litigated divorce, let her have one. She'll be spending her own money in the end and possibly get less. Stop saying yes, give her what is required by law, or less if you can get away with it." Strong advice. I think I don't fully agree with what this comment's saying. I think OP actually is playing the long game here, whether he knows it or not, by letting the ex-wife choose to spend as much time as she wants with the kids. Because when they start rejecting her, like the son is, she will stop doing it as much, and eventually altogether. OP, on the whole, it sounds like, the whole situation's really, really improved, which I'm incredibly happy for. I hope things continue to get better in the future, and I eagerly await your next update. That basically finishes off the 4-part mini-series thing. The first 4-part mini-series on this channel. I just wanted to say thank you very much for watching the video, and if you watched all of them, you're an absolute star. Let me know what you think about sort of this longer content. Is it too long? Any kind of feedback would be really appreciated. Even stuff like about the audio quality or the video or whatever itself. I'm always looking to try and improve my content. So any feedback would be appreciated. Alrighty, so what do you think OP should do? What would you do in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you won't miss the latest upload. Alrighty, we'll have to leave that there. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.